stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
All right. Good very much afternoon. I had to get up and get a move on this morning, so we did Mother's Day today. All right. Yeah, we did Mother's Day today, so all of us kids went up there. And now we just go up there and fix the house is what we do. I got stuck with gutters today. It's what happens when you're last, when you show up last. Yeah. I'm usually the first one there, but I decided to stop and get some coffee at Starbucks, and it took half an hour. So, but neat thing is it's been a long time since I walked away from my mom's house and not been triggered. And I was not triggered at all today. Been a while since I got along that great with my brothers and sisters and had a good time. And, my mom's getting a little bit older, so they were discussing things about mom. And I pulled my brothers aside and told them, hey, I'm more available than you guys think. And can I get this off first? Thanks. I'm more available than you think. And, there's been some contention in our family, and I don't talk to them very often. So, but I do know how much my mom appreciates it. I know what it's like to have kids that aren't getting along. I have a couple kids not getting along right now, and kind of wish that they would, but I also kind of understand it. I also see why it drives my mom fucking crazy now, though. Oh, so yeah, this has been a good week, man. Especially if I compared it to the week before. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm not really anticipating anybody today. Michelle said there was a good chance she wasn't going to be able to make it. And the rest of them are pretty much rewatchers. And I'm figuring out why I have a ton of rewatchers. I'm figuring it out now. So I'm now understanding. It's only taken me 5 years, but now I'm understanding why why they're doing the rewatch. Because if you come, your name pops up, and they want to stay anonymous. So perfectly fine with me. Perfectly fine with me. I have no idea how many people watch this. I don't even know if anybody's going to watch this one. So, and they tend not to say anything either, which is fine. That is absolutely fine. Here you get to be whatever you want. If you want to be anonymous and watch the rewatch, not say anything, no problems at all. All right, let's do some introductions here. Welcome to Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. Double check my sound. Yes, I have sound. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Again, not required. So, the way I see it is you've already paid your dues. That's right. In AA, there's no axes to grind. There's no dues to be paid. You have paid the price of submission. Yeah, of admission, not submission. Submission is a much different word. All right, let's talk about integrity real quick. I'm actually doing the daily reflection, but there was this post about integrity, and I'm like, this kind of goes along with it. See if we can put them together. I was trying to look up integrity and talk at the same time. Oh, it worked. All right. Integrity means, that's integral. Honor, honesty, sincerity, wholeness, soundness, strength. Ooh, strength goes with integrity. Yeah, right. But what is integrity for us, really? It's doing the right thing whether anybody's watching or not. It's just about being honest with yourself, um, being truthful, man. It is. And that may take a while for some of us to work on. I'm one of them. Because I told so many lies that half the time I don't even want to tell a story because I don't know if it's true or not. Right. So this is kind of the world that we live in. And what I would have to say is give yourself some grace, man. Give yourself some grace. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. It's all right to say, hey, you know what? I made a mistake. I caught that. Everybody else see that? I caught it. All right, we're changing it. Okay. I had to do that today, and it worked, man. It worked. I've been working hard at this program for a long time. And 8 years, and now I'm just starting to see my brothers and sisters come back. The children came back. Okay, so yeah, let's get to the readings because I bet that's why you're here. So we're going to be in the 12 by 12. Looks like page 57. This is our 12 by 12. Yours probably has a cover on it. I've had mine for a little bit. Doesn't look like my big book, though. All right. This is kind of a repeat, but that's all right. What? Repeating things in AA? Never. Why do we do that? Because sometimes I'll read something, and even though I've read it 100 times, because I am now different, I get something different out of it. That's one reason. I'm always getting something new out of this. The other reason is my forgetter works real well. I mean, I could have a black eye from a car crash last weekend and not remember it. Yeah. Or just be like, well, I just won't drive this weekend then. Or, it was the car's fault. I shouldn't have gotten in the car. Yeah, that's what the problem was. Wow, denial. I'm going to start the last paragraph on page 56, if you would like to read along with me. The practice of admitting one's defects to another person is, of course, very ancient. Yeah, very much so. It has been validated in every century, and it characterizes the lives of all spiritually centered and truly religious people. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of hook this up with therapy. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm going to hook this up with therapy because people tend to think that if they go to therapy, that the therapist is going to give them the right answers. Therapy is usually you run your mouth until the answer comes out of it. That's therapy. We're doing the same thing here. When it comes out of your mouth, it is entirely different. You ever had a really good idea until it came out of your mouth? There's proof in your pudding now then, right? That maybe these thoughts, have you ever gotten a text message and understood it wrong? It's the same thing, okay? There's only one form of communication in this world, and it does not involve these. It only involves this round hole in my face. Unless it is moving, it's just convenience. Okay, texting, email is convenient. It is not communication. because I can't see you. I can't see the inflections. I can't hear your voice, these other things, right? Sometimes how we say something, it compares to it. I don't know how many times I heard you. It's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. Or, will you stop yelling? I'm not yelling. This is my. I had to keep going lower and lower on my inside voice. Okay. So that's one of the reasons so powerful. So you already have a lot of the answers. And sometimes, a guide will say, well, did you ever think about it this way? Oh, you know what? That makes a lot more sense to me. I think I'm gonna steal that one from you. All right. But today, religion is by no means the sole advocate of this saving principle. Psychiatrists and psychologists point out the deep need every human being has for practical insight and knowledge of his own personality flaws and for a discussion of them with an understanding and trustworthy person. Okay? Now, that's for everybody else. So far as alcoholics are concerned, AA would go even further. As an arrested alcoholic, I always need to take the next step. I need to take it. I don't take 2 seconds. I take 4. Nobody notices the difference, but it makes a world of difference to how I end up treating people. Because if I have a reaction, I don't care how long I've been doing this. If I have a quick reaction, it's probably wrong. It probably is. If I haven't put any thought to it, a reaction just means I am making the decision without any other thought into it. So I do not react to life anymore. Yeah. As much. Okay. Most of us would declare that without a fearless admission of our defects to another human being, we could not stay sober. It seems plain that the grace of God will not enter to expel our destructive obsession until we are willing to try this. Faith without works is dead, period. And what was integrity? It was courage. And without faith, you're not going to get courage. That's been my route. I found my courage through God. Okay. And I had it all along. And every day I have more courage. Okay. Like today, first time in a long time that I left my mother's house and wasn't triggered. I didn't leave mad. And I usually do. Hey, Michelle, I hope your weekend's going okay. Oh, what are we likely to receive from step 5? For one thing, we shall get rid of that terrible sense of isolation we've always had. I'm going to tell you something. Loneliness is the one thing. It's the one thing that really binds us all together in recovery. Okay, it's the loneliness that brings all addiction together. Remember I talk a lot about how there are separates. So, oh, yay. Good for you. That's what we were doing earlier. That's what I was doing earlier. Almost without exception, alcoholics are tortured by loneliness. Okay. And the thing is I was going to say this even before our drinking got bad, before I even started drinking, when my PTSD came around, like a lot of times, like my niece, she doesn't always give me an invite, but I know I'm always invited. But she doesn't always want to ask me because she doesn't want to trigger me or whatever. So she's like, if I do it, Uncle Dion, then you're always welcome. And I know that. Okay. So now that's put back on me, but now there's no guilt or shame involved. Yeah. Okay. That is unconditional love. even before our drinking careers, even before our drinking got bad and people began to cut us off, nearly all of us suffered the feeling that we didn't quite belong. I've always felt that way. There wasn't that. Even to this day, I don't always quite feel it. Like in my mom's house, I didn't quite feel like I belonged. But this time, I made a decision and a promise to myself that I was going to add to the joy today. That was my only intent. So whatever joy was going on, that's what I joined. And I added to it. So yeah. Now what happens? Now my brother's gonna be like, well, you know what? Dion's changed a lot. You know, maybe and then maybe I can have an effect in their lives. Who knows? I don't know what's gonna happen. But I do know that today everything's good with it. All right. Either we were shy and dare not draw near others, or we are apt to be noisy goodfellows, craving attention and companionship and never getting it, at least to our way of thinking. I was both of these, just depending on what I. Okay. I was a very, very, very shy kid. I was one of those kids where only my mom, my grandma, and my favorite auntie could hold me until I was 2. Yeah. I was a pretty needy child. I was very, very shy until alcohol came along. I've had to do a lot of work to not be shy. And a lot of people don't believe me. Go ask my wife. Just yeah. But I'll also be the noisy good fellow if I need it. You know, let me rephrase that. I will speak up if it's appropriate. If I need to say something, I will say something. Where does that come from? It comes from God. It's courage. It's courage. There was always that mysterious barrier we can neither surmount or understand. Yeah, it's true. A mistake, and it's like hidden. I can't see it either. I just, it's like walking into glass or something. It was as if we were actors on stage, suddenly realizing we did not know a single line of our parts. That's one reason we loved alcohol too well. It did let us act extemporaneously, but even Bacchus boomeranged on us, and we were finally struck down and left in terrified loneliness. When we reached AA, and for the first time in our lives stood among people who seemed to understand, the sense of belonging was tremendously exciting. Yes, welcome to the pink cloud. It is. It's like coming home. It's like feeling like coming home, man. I don't know how to describe it. But I do know that it helps take care of the ease and comfort that I need that comes at once by taking those drinks. Helps me with delayed gratification a lot. We thought the isolation problem had been solved. No. But we soon discovered that we weren't alone in the social sense anymore. We still suffered many of the old pangs of anxious apartness until we talked with complete candor of our conflicts and had listened to someone else do the same thing. We still didn't belong. Step 5 was the answer. It was the beginning of true kinship with man and God. Okay? So this is what they're saying. If you do not do the 4th and 5th step, you will never, ever, ever really, truly feel like you belong. Because your brain will say to you, you didn't do what they did. You skipped this, this, and this. You're not going to be able to help it. And I know because I've been through that. Okay? So, all right. After 4 years in AA, I was able to discover the freedom from the burden of buried emotions that had caused me so much pain. With the help of AA and extra counseling, the pain was released, and I felt a complete sense of belonging and peace. I also felt a joy and a love of a love and a love of God that I never experienced before. I am at awe of the power of step 5. How about you, Kitty? Are you in the office? Oh, we got a bunch today. You're so sweet. You can't tell he's my favorite, can you? Oh, he's just so nice to me. He's not like the other cats. The other cats just want shit from me. At least he gives me love. He's giving me chills. Dude. All right. All right. Okay. All right. There's a new podcast out. I just put it out. It was from yesterday. But I decided to wait till today because I was waiting on a picture and stuff. So it is out. If you want to check it out, I will have it out on Facebook and everything else here shortly. So in the meantime, I hope you all have a great day. Make sure you do the right thing, even though nobody's looking. Have integrity in your life. And we will see you all tomorrow. You all have a safe Saturday night. He does this one too. Like me, just like a dunk, dunk, dad. All right. I love you. Peace out.